They made a movie once in my hometown. Everybody was in it from all around. Tragically. Okay, so what is that song about? It's about this lifetime. What's going on right now? The title of the movie, the working title, well, the original, I can help you out. The working title is called Lake of Fire. So the story so far goes as follows. Lake of Fire is the working title. They shot a movie once in my hometown. Everybody was in it from miles around. Down at the freeway, some kind of Elvis thing. I don't know what it was all about, but I can get behind anything. The working title is Lake of Fire because it's the Kurt Cobain song is the main theme. Is like a Bob Seger version of Fire Lake. Those are the two main songs. You gotta listen to that song, the Nirvana version of Lake of Fire, because that's the story that we're talking about. And in the end, the camera shows the actual unbelievable Lake of Fire. What you do is you get a B train. That's one of those tractor trailers with two tankers of gasoline behind it. One's called the Pup behind it. Putting out fires with gasoline. That was the song Cat People with David Bowie. I don't know, what are cat people? The catty. Who are catty girls? The mean girls from the movie Mean Girls. The Heathers from the movie Heathers. They shot a movie once in my hometown. Every Heather was in it from miles around. In other words, this is the game. This is the game that you're playing here. And anyways, it's called The Lake of Fire, and whether you're in it at the end of the movie or not. They shot a movie once in my hometown. Everybody was in it from miles around. At the time of judgment, some kind of Elvis thing. I ain't no movie star, but I can sing, sing, sing. I don't know. Sing Sing is a famous place in probably Humphrey Bogart's day. Black and white. Edward G. Robinson would be in it. And it was one of those, what do they call it? It's just a movie about guys in prison. And, when they're out, immediately thinking of the next crime that they need to do so they can buy some cigarettes. And the next thing they're back in jail and they're a jailbird. Like the rotating door, they let them out. The next thing you know, the next day they're back because they can't go a day in free society without a criminal act. And then they're talking, they're in jail, and the priest comes in who knew, maybe it was Humphrey Bogart, when he was a boy, and said to Humphrey, who is now, let's say 25, Humphrey, this is not looking good. Because, I was your priest when you were a boy, and I'm visiting you here now, and I'm going to be like Jacob Marley visiting Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol. Because this priest is talking to 25-year-old Humphrey Bogart, who's in and out of jail constantly, and he says, this is a bad road you're on, Humphrey. Because if you look down the line there, that's death row. People, once you get in death row, you never walk out of Sing Sing prison. You don't. Because death row, and at the other end of death row, it's the Sing Sing version of Old Sparky. But that's where they shave your head, so you have a bare head, and they put kind of a jelly on to wet it, and then they put a metal cap on here, and then I'm not exactly sure where they put the other electrode, because one end is going to be positive and the other end is going to be negative. So I'm going to bet that they put that gel on the end of a probe and they ram it up your fucking asshole. So maybe it's positive up here and it's negative up your fucking asshole. And then they get 10,000 watts of electricity and they wait for the execution hour because it's part of the torment of the person who is about to be executed. Because they always say, well, we have a team of lawyers working on your behalf for a last minute. Well, we're doing last minute appeals for clemency from the governor. And if the governor grants you clemency, there'll be a phone call and we won't carry out the execution. So this is the priest talking to Humphrey before he's on death row. And he says, Humphrey, you're here. The next, seriously, you are doing armed robbery. One of these times you're going to shoot somebody. Humphrey, that's your powder. You are going to shoot somebody. And then you're going to be in death row, and then you're going to be sitting there with old Sparky. With one electrode up your ass and the other one on your skull. So, it's basically, a last-ditch plea to you from the priest. Bill Stamp used to call me the bishop. There was a skit from Monty Python. It's the bishop. And Bill even had it recorded so he could show it to me. And there really is a skit. It's the bishop. I don't know if it's on YouTube. I'll go and see if I can find it. But Bill Stamp called me the bishop. So I am the bishop. And you're pretty much going to have to come to the same conclusion as me, that I can't possibly say that you're anywhere other than here in the movie Lake of Fire. So, it's just that I'm still being attacked by this horrible shit that's being used against me. Remote neural monitoring, electronic torture. So if I'm the bishop and if I represent Christ, then if you're not my friends and you're not spending time with me and you refuse to phone me or refuse to send me a message or, you're gray rocking me, then you're no friend of the bishop and you're no friend of Christ, which means you are the Antichrist, are you not? Well, black and white or not, but if there is a judgment day at the end of this lifetime, if it's not going to be your bishop here, then it's going to be the big guy, Jesus. So that's why they put the bishop here with all you fuckfaces. Because when you meet Jesus for real, it's either going to be congratulations and welcome to heaven or lake of fire and fry. Because that's the way it is for everybody on this fucking planet. Because this planet is the way it is. And you got all those movies, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Judgment Day. You got that word. Where'd it come from? It came from the Bible, the Christian Bible. So, I'm being attacked on my bag. It's all day long. This is Brent Beeson the Devil. His nickname is Jimmy Steele. It's from the commercial from Dougal Media. Because they've got that guy, Jimmy Steele, from 8779367. Call Jimmy Steele and you'll get to heaven. It's not quite right, but it's just, I don't know, it's the recycle place, metal recycling. They give you the phone number, whatever the phone number is, when you call us, and then, you bring your scrap metal here, or maybe they'll get arranged to get somebody to come pick it up for you. Jimmy Steele is Brent Beeson the Devil. And I called him Jimmy Steele because Brent Beeson is into knife fights. And, he's come through this remote neural monitoring thing. And he is the truly most evil man. So you're going to have him, Jimmy Steele, as Brent Beeson, or the Beeson brothers crime family also have got one called Dr. Atkinson, also known as Atkinson the Jeweler. People from Thunder Bay, Canada will remember we did have Atkinson's Jeweler, and that's where the name came from. And my father, Dave Burrows, he used to be the mill manager at Great Lakes Paper, out by the airport, the big paper mill out there. Jerky jerky by remote control. What were we talking about? The mill. Oh, my dad, Beelzebub Dave. Well, yeah, God calls him Beelzebub because Dave refuses to stop eating meat. And I even talked to him. He doesn't believe I do telepathy. He doesn't. He thinks I'm a schizophrenic psycho or something. Anyways, by telepathy, I called St. Peter's desk at the entrance to heaven. And St. Peter, through me, screamed more than one occasion. Like they were super angry at my father, Dave Burrows. Because when he was about 20 years old, he worked in a meat blacking plant in Winnipeg, and he watched animals go into the slaughter. And I asked him in front of his granddaughters at the dinner table, we were all having dinner, and I said, in front of those girls, did those animals know that they were about to be murdered? And he said, yeah. And he went back to cutting another piece of his roast beef, and he ate it. And so did the girls. Those same girls, 2 of them have got a cat, and the other 2 have got a dog. Everybody says, is there any difference between those pigs, those cats, and those dogs? You want to make it a capital offense. Hang the bastard who ran over my dog. A lot of people would feel that way because it's a member of their family. I'm going to go out of my way on a vendetta to kill you, human, because you accidentally ran over my dog who wasn't leashed and untrained, but it was your fault because it bolted out into the street. Well, whose fault is it? It's you as the owner. I have to take a moment here because Brent Beeson the Devil is back fucking with telling me what I should say in the video. Because they just gave me kind of a mind wipe, like a neuralizer from Men in Black. And, I stopped because I was neuralized by Brent Beeson the Devil through neural monitoring. High-tech torture machine, also known as Dr. Evil. The Dr. Evil machine. That's what it is. If you watch Star Trek, the original series, the episode is Mirror, Mirror, and Captain Kirk in that evil version, evil of Elor, that Captain Kirk had a girlfriend, and I think her name was Mara, I'm not sure, but Mara is the devil that bedeviled Buddha. And Mara operated the remote neural monitoring machine, which could, by remote control, watch everybody on the ship and kill them. Maybe just discipline them, all via a little panel in the captain's quarters. So they showed you, that was like 1967 when they made that the idea was already in mind in Hollywood. In Hollywood, California, and Martin Marietta and Raytheon of California. I mean, seriously. And then, every war movie, they get active participation of the military. So, to think that they haven't, even if they had that in mind and they just showed you a phony baloney version, well, 67, 77, 87, 97, 2017, 2000, and that's a long fucking time for them to, when they spend trillions of dollars a year on military, to think that they haven't actually developed that thing that they showed you in Star Trek in 67. But I'm going to tell you that they already had it in 1967. Anyways, let's moving along. I can't help you out because you have to put two and two together and read and put Anyway, I gotta move on. Jigsaw. Okay, let's go. Okay, Brent Beeson the Devil. Well, Jimmy Steele is his favorite nickname, and he created a character. He created an alter ego, and now that alter ego is independent of Brent Beeson. So devils do create devils. They play another character, and then that character takes on a life of its own. And so Dr. Atkinson, his real name is Mr. Atkinson. Brent Beeson calls him Dr. Atkinson, but his name is Mr. Atkinson, and that was always his name, and that's what he prefers, because he's not actually a doctor. He doesn't have a medical degree. A short story, Gangs of New York, The Butcher Guy. Yeah, that kind of guy. Yeah. And, well, that's what he does. It's just, Dave Beelzebub Burrows, who likes to eat meat, the one that watched the little animals in the slaughterhouse get murdered. And then went about his life, and now he's like, grandpa to my nieces who love ribs. Anyways, when I did telepathy with St. Peter's Desk, they did chew out Beelzebub Dave really loud. And then I don't think Dave really realized that that's really heaven. And they really, really got angry because I think he thought that I was acting and, shoot the messenger, because he's unwilling to believe that it's possible to be a prophet. And even when I told him about his friend Fred Baker, who was a raging, horrible man, horrible alcoholic, who was forced by his wife to either, reform or hit the road jack, reformed. And when I did muscle testing, he went from about, the level of a snake, a venomous snake on the scale of human consciousness, up to 600. And at 600, you're called a perfect, and you're also called an angel, a saint. So Fred Baker went from being a venomous snake earlier in his life to becoming a Roman Catholic saint. Well, he hasn't been declared here on earth, but I'm the bishop. I'm Bishop Bob. You ask Bill Stamp, and I'm the bishop. And I'm going to tell you from my heart, Fred Baker is a saint of the Roman Catholic Church now. And I'm the only one that matters, because the real Pope, if you watch on TV, is an actor called Jonathan Pryce. So, you ask Bill Stamp, who's the bishop? He's going to say Bobby Burrows. So it can be done. People can change from being horrible like Beelzebub the devil. And when I showed Beelzebub Dave this, because I did the muscle testing right there with him, with the book, Transcending the Levels of Consciousness. It's still at Beelzebub Dave's in his basement in the cupboard. I showed him by muscle testing that's what I got. But he's the devil, and he denies the truth. Because so anyways, they shot a movie once in my hometown. Everybody was in it from miles around. Down at the Speedway, some kind of Elvis thing. I ain't no movie star, but I ain't gonna sing. Anyways, there's the reptilian who chases the material treasure, materialism, material girl, and heartless son of a bitch. So grab that thing right out of your hands when it's Christmas time because you're in line and that was the last one. Or maybe it wasn't the last one, but he didn't walk to the back, so he looked at you with a vicious, violent look in his eyes, and you just handed it over. It's like, fuck, I'm not going to get eaten by this monster. I'll just go to the back and get another one. So, the working title of the movie is difficult to say, because the other one might be I got to take a muscle test here because yesterday I saw a really good muscle test for the planet, but I might not be in the same world that I'm in yesterday. Barbara's gone schizophrenic again. I don't know because my mother, who hasn't been to university, still thinks that she's more educated and knowledgeable than me. So, high school graduate still wants to interfere with my life. I have 2 degrees, Susan. Bachelor of Science and a Master's in Business Administration, Susan. And you've got King's Business College. And you don't read and you don't use the internet to do research on anything other than, Priceline for what hotels are available. Doe. Karen. You don't even know that Karen is an insult, Susan, because you're a Susan, which is equivalent to a Karen. Anyways, they shot a movie once, and apparently, I don't know where we're going to go with all this, because we have to get back to, the movie. They shot a movie once. Okay, I'm not going to Sing where the electric chair is. But the electric chair is, I don't know where else. The working title of the movie is Lake of Fire. And you listen to that song by Nirvana. And that's what I see it, because we have to do a muscle test to see, because, different worlds, because the many worlds interpretation of quantum physics says there's multiple copies of planet Earth. And we've got a 5D Earth, which is a beautiful heaven, and we got this dumpy Earth called 3D or 4D heaven. It's called Earth, but it's hell. Because I'm still being attacked on my fucking dick pic by Brent Beeson the Devil, who is Jimmy Steele, the knife guy. And Dr. Atkinson, he calls it Mr. Atkinson the jeweler. Because, it was Beelzebub Dave, always used to say, throughout my lifetime, if he didn't like somebody, if he didn't do what he said, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to have your balls for bookends. If you don't do what Dave says, he's going to have your balls, your testicles, for bookends. In other words, books on a shelf, and then your testicle here and your testicle there. I've never heard anybody else on the planet use that expression. I'm going to have your balls for bookends. Never, ever, ever have I heard that other expression. Anyways, what else do we want to know? Well, okay, so we're talking about Mr. Atkinson. Mr. Atkinson, Atkinson's Jewelers in Thunder Bay, Canada, where I grew up, where Beelzebub Dave lives. Atkinson the Jeweler. The other one was Beelzebub Dave, also always called men's testicles the family jewels. Now you get it. So Atkinson Jewelers supplied the name Mr. Atkinson to the devil, created by Jimmy Steele, also a.k.a. Brent Beeson the Devil, also known as a Lord of Karma and a Lord of Cruelty. Who told him he's a Lord of Cruelty? I don't know. He assumed the title when you do, and one of the horrible torture campaigns against me. I had to say uncle to him because let me on the ropes, killing me. He murders me every day. I'm alive because I'm the resurrection and the life, and I do that I am thing. And I let go of my ego. It's still a horror to be murdered over and over again because he does bring me to what would kill you. By the torture devices. Heart attacks by remote control. Unbelievable, horrific things, ways of distorting the body and sending horrible, horrible energies to me. I don't know, in the movie V for Vendetta on Netflix, they show you government facilities where they torture people. And there's an actual facility called Tavistock in the United Kingdom that does this kind of psychological research. Okay, so we're talking about Jimmy Steele, aka Brent Beeson, the Devil, who created a new character called Mr. Atkinson, Atkinson the jeweler. The family jewels are testicles, and Atkinson the jeweler specializes in performing castrations on unwilling victims. Atkinson the jeweler is a real evil entity. So, Red Beast and the Devil thinks of nothing but new ways to torture me 24/7. And I don't know what else to tell you because he's real. He's the boogeyman. Oh, that was the other thing. Next time you hear that song, go play it on your YouTube. I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am. I'm your boogeyman. KC and the Sunshine Band. I bought the album. We all loved that song. I don't know, 1976 maybe? I'm your boogeyman. But if you watch the video now, at least when I watch it, I look at him and he's a big mouth. KC, the singer, I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am. I'm your big mouth. Because boogeyman is like get up and boogie, do 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 do. But when he sings and you look at him, I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am. I'm your boogeyman. And I don't know, I just get an incredible feel that he is a serial sexual rapist predator. The boogeyman that lives, in somebody's closet from Monsters, Inc. Really, really, really. You go watch that video. You'll change your opinion of KC and the Sunshine Band if you're like me and I'm the bishop. Anyways, they shot a movie once in my hometown. Everybody was in it from miles around. Down at the Speedway, some kind of something thing. I ain't no movie star. But they say that Jennifer Aniston and Ellen DeGenerate have been executed. At least, something that came through the internet to me today on Instagram. As part of the Donald Trump QAnon Make America Great Again. At least this one said, and they had little video clips of the end. Burroughs Bobby is my Instagram. Oh, no, it's not there. I didn't put it up. I don't know how to do that. Do I know how to do that? I don't know how to take somebody's Instagram and do like we do on Twitter. It's stupid. How come they don't have all the features on that thing? I don't know. Anyways, I don't know whether it's true or not, but it was pretty creepy, I must say. Ellen pretty much admitted that, things with the murders just gone too far. I don't know if I can find that one. But anyways, that's what I saw. And it's been talked about for a long time that a lot of Hollywood celebrities are evil into killing people for adrenochrome and, killing children and stuff. Hillary Clinton and Haiti and the Evergreen Suez Canal thing where they said that they found human smuggling going on with that Evergreen thing, and Evergreen was the code word that the Secret Service used for Hillary Clinton when she was First Lady. I don't know, these are just odd things, but that was an odd thing, That never happens, a crash or, a grounding in the Suez Canal. Millions of years go by of that thing, and we've never ever heard of a grounding before. So it seems to me it was intentional. Anyways, they shot a movie once in my hometown. Everybody was in it from miles around. Down at the Speedway, I can't figure it out yet because we still don't know if I'm going to be singing Fire Lake. Because if the Lake of Fire thing happens, then I'm going to sing that song, Fire Lake by Bob Seger. You can go play that one because I'm going to sing it. Let's go down to Fire Lake. The way I picture it, there's going to be bleacher seats for us, the angels, and we're going to sit in the bleacher seats and we're going to watch Fire Lake as all of the devils get thrown into Fire Lake. We want to see what happens when the devils finally feel the pain that they've caused. If you calibrate under 540 on the scale of human consciousness, you have a ticket to ride. You're going to Sing Sing, or maybe you're just going direct to Fire Lake, because that's what the working title is. They shot a movie once in Thunder Bay. Everybody was in it, Vancouver way. Some people from Hamilton, they might have made the grade. Some of the major places I've lived this lifetime. Anyway, wherever you are, they are shooting a movie. And everywhere on planet Earth, the working title is Fire Lake. So what you need to do is, at the end of this movie, whenever you think you're going to drop dead, or maybe it's not going to be because a lot of people don't think they're ever going to drop dead, and Marc Laviolette, who lived on Chestnut Street and was my age, he dropped dead at age 52, 5 years ago. Was he at 540? I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea. Because I haven't seen him since, I don't know, I was about 12 years old. Seems to be. But you never know when it's your day. Marc Laviolette, who worked for the post office and planned for early retirement, Freedom 55, and he got to Freedom 52, and then he died. So all his greatest plans of his ego to retire early and live the good life came to Judgment Day early. So Mark is either in heaven or hell, but given the fact that 540 was an unknown thing, because this is new information that came to us, around the year 2000. 1995, Power versus Force, David R. Hawkins. I knew about it back then. How come you didn't? I was living in Whistler, Party Central, and that information got to me. Yeah. There's a plan for the salvation of every soul here, and the evil entities have already been declared on death row. And Brent Beeson, the devil, is on death row. And the reason he's still alive seems to be to give you the temptation. And whatever temptation you want, that devil is here. And all you people have got the same issue, deviling. So, I do expect that there will be people from planet Earth in the bleacher seats. Absolutely. And I saw somebody yesterday when, I muscle tested somebody and they come up as 600 here in Thunder Bay. So that person who's at 600, they don't have to go to the bleacher seats, but it's like the biggest story of all, the end of the movie, Fire Lake Thunder Bay version. And that person, if they want to, it's not forced on them. If they don't want to see it because it's too horrible, then they don't have to, but they have the option of going to the bleacher seats and watching the devils be thrown into Fire Lake to see what happens. Well, don't forget that we don't think that they're just going to disappear and that's, be turned into soot. Because that's not what we're told in the Bible. In the Bible, it talks about people in the lake of fire, perhaps in the book of Revelation, but other places as well. And they talk about the gnashing of teeth of the devils. So the devils are at some level are still alive when they're in that blazing, scorching hot and excruciating, excoriating pain that never ends. It doesn't end in 10 minutes, it doesn't end in 10 hours, it doesn't end in 10 days, it doesn't end in 10 years, it doesn't end in 10,000 years, it doesn't end in 10 million years, it doesn't end in 10 billion fucking years. It doesn't end. I'm the bishop. No rational person would choose to live in excruciating, excoriating, burn pain. How many of you people have, nobody's gone through life without getting some kind of a burnt skin? It's a horrible pain. Do you want to live with that pain forever? I'm the bishop. You ask Bill Stamp. He called me the bishop over and over and over again. I am the bishop. And you're Humphrey Bogart. And you're on death row right now at Sing Sing. And I don't have old Sparky down the way. It's the lake of fucking fire. Because it's the end of the line. We're here now. It's Judgment Day. In this now moment, some people might say, but you don't know, just like Mark Laviolette, when the last day of your life is. There's the Limbo Bar. Bill Stamp was excellent at Limbo Bar when he was young. But this isn't a limbo bar that you kind of snake your way under, because it's very snaky to go low on the ground to get under that. No, this is a high jump. It is. This is a high jump because you've got a high jump and the bar is set at 540. And if you don't make 540, and David R. Hawkins, our spiritual teacher, said, everyone on planet Earth can do it. So, your coach is there. Transcending the Levels of Consciousness is a book you can try, but there's no more time because I've done all this stuff. And the Bobby Burrows technique that has been available for quite some number of months, still available. But it's just that I'm out of time. So, we're expecting Fire Lake because they shot a movie once in my hometown. Everybody was in it from miles around. Sometimes I come here, I don't really want to say. I don't want to help you myself because it's not going to work out because Brent Beeson the devil got in the middle of me trying to sing a new song, a new fresh song. Because in the middle of it, he pushed me. So, I can't live. I can't be creative. I can't be a source for God. Because when I sing, it's singing. And that's what I want to do. And I can't do it. When I've got people like Brent Beeson that, have been torturing me for fucking forever. But, online, but this way, for 6 fucking years. Every day, 24/7. I cannot live like this. Ergo, as the bishop, it's done. Because it's the end of the line. It's the end of the movie. And it's time now for those of us angelics to decide if we're going to go and sit in the bleacher seats. Because it's time for the main event. And King Clancy, the devil, is going to put on, I don't know. There's a whole pile of people that are going to do a lot of things for their baptism by fire.